My name is Dick Pace. I was working in a factory. I had a baseball scholarship at ASU and decided having a new car was a whole lot more important than playing baseball at ASU. I was drafted into the Army when I dropped out of college in 1969. And being drafted, that was a 2-year service to the Army. Which there was about 15 of us from Northeast Arkansas that was drafted at the same time. We got on a bus in Jonesboro. We went to Memphis, and we were put on the bus, and I went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The time that we were, the main purpose of the drill sergeants was to, 1, get you in shape, 2, convince you that it's okay to die, and 3, you were going to Vietnam. After a boot camp of 9 weeks, we were chosen to participate in different fields. I was an infantryman, which also basically was an 81 millimeter mortar, and I was trained to fire mortars in hand-to-hand combat. I had orders for Vietnam. I got to my primary station to leave, and President Nixon had started the callback of military soldiers. So I was in the first group of soldiers that was not deployed to Vietnam, and I went to Alaska. I would think probably the biggest memory I had was going to Alaska, and I went in November, and it took forever to realize that it was dark all day long. Nearly 20 to 24 hours of darkness in the winter. And then in the summertime, you had 20 to 24 hours of daylight. So there was a lot of adjusting to do. People do not understand, and they think that everyone that is drafted or volunteer to go into military, they're going to combat. Only a small portion go into actual combat. There's bases all over the United States and all over the world that must be manned to make sure that the United States is protected in all bases with military people. So you are combat ready no matter what base you're in. You just may not be in a combat situation. I served 2 years from 69 to 71, and most of the combat ended in 73 and was over in 75. Family and community was super. There was still a wall put between military people. Whether you served in Vietnam or whether you didn't serve in Vietnam, you were sort of looked down on. When I started college, I never told anyone I was in the military after I got out. It was just something you did and you went on. They are a lot of veterans right here in Monette, and by being a member of the American Legion, we stay in contact and we do a lot of good benefits for the community. Also, we have a honor detail that we do funerals for most of the veterans around our area by folding and presenting the flag to their surviving family members. I spent 35 years working in banking. One of the main things you learn in the military is that everything you do has to be planned out. It's detailed. Certain things are jobs are given to different people, and you must all work together to accomplish what job you have in front of you. And that's the way I tried to be a manager when I worked. We tried to have teamwork and to be the best we could be. Serving in the military made me a better person. the one thing it taught me is you have to be a servant. You have to be committed. You have to understand that your role is just as important no matter what you do as someone else, and it takes all to accomplish. I would say that I'm as patriotic right now as I was in 1969. I would serve tomorrow if I could. First of all, I would ask you, do you have anything you're willing to die for? Think about that long and hard, because in 1969, during combat, people were being drafted at 18 and 19 years old. They were being asked, are you ready to die for this flag? Are you ready to die for your country? That's only a couple years from each one of you. Would you be willing to raise your hand and say yes? And that's a question I would ask anyone. That's one of the reasons that veterans are so patriotic, is they made a commitment up to their life to their country.
The BIC East Initiative is proud to induct Mr. Dick Pace into the Buffalo Island Veterans Hall of Fame.